Donnie B, GotDaBeats.
As they say on the East Coast, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Donnie B, got the beats, man. We live on the latest edition of the Beat. Listen, I'm elated because I got somebody from back home in the area, and I'm excited every time I get somebody from the area on. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta keep it lit right quick. So, what it is, what it was. Like I said, Donnie B got the beats. I'm thankful to be here. Wrapping up season 7, get ready to go strong in the 7th. Season 8 is going to be crazy. They're going to change the platform up dramatically. They give that chef's kiss. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest is none other than Soncier the Hero. We'll get into him and his business in a sec, but it's gonna be that glorious intro though. Yeah, here we go. So you got me all excited and everything because I'm at this joke. Like I said, got somebody from the area on. Anyway, like I said, y'all know I like to find the greatest talent that I can find in the land, man. That's been who I am since day one. And this brother right here, man, actually came across him long time ago. You know what I mean? And the brother was doing this thing back then, rolling with the same squad of people. Shout out Will Rap for Food and the whole family and the whole movement that came from after Will Rap for Food, man. And it was ahead of his time back in that era. But like I said, this brother's been doing this thing ever since, man. Been doing some phenomenal things 2023, man. So make sure we're going to get into that in a bit. But without further ado, Soncier the Hero.
What's poppin', man? What's poppin'? It's the one and only Soncier the Hero. I'm in the building, man. DMV representing all day, every day. You know what it is. Ready, set, impact.
That's what it is, man. DMV always represent. Boy, we like it's Wakanda out here in the game.
Right.
Real live, man. Make sure, like I said, that if y'all so kind, make sure you like, follow, subscribe to this brother. He's on IG, YouTube. He's everywhere you want to be, like Visa, man. Soncier the Hero, man. And also on YouTube, Soncier the Hero TV. Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, and check them out. Without further ado, Soncier, man, we don't do no shucking and jiving on this thing, man. Real quick, we just go straight into it. So let's take it back and I want you to tell people who is Soncier the Hero.
Well, first I want to get the pronunciation right because a lot of people call me Soncier or Soncier, like it's French. It's just Soncier. And Soncier the Hero is short for Soncier the Hero of hip hop. Me, myself, I am an artist who advocates not only positive and conscious content, but with an edge, which is very important now with the temperament of where hip hop is, where it's all about balance. And that's what I provide, balance. And my mantra is middle finger to all negativity. That's a clean way of saying it. You already know.
I love it, man. And thank you for sharing that and then letting people know that you out here, man. And like he said, man, Soncier, man. Make sure you say it right. I don't even know if I said it right. Did I say it right? The way it just came in.
It was Soncier. Close enough, but I think it's important to highlight that until people actually hear the music, because it's like when I'm on the songs, I'm like Soncier. So it's like but then so it's really important that I get the pronunciation right for people out there who don't know what they're looking at. They're like, I don't know how to pronounce this. So think of sincere, but Soncier.
Yeah, gotcha.
Totally different word.
It's dope regardless, man. You're dope anyway.
Thank you.
No problem. So let's go back. Okay, let's go back. we talk, and this is a staple question. I do this for every guest, so people get to know, people's walks of life. You mentioned that you're from the DMV. We had this conversation. I want you, in your words, to tell people what it was like growing up. Like growing up in, where did you grow up? What was it like for you? How did you overcome any hurdles and obstacles to become the success that you are today, brother?
Wow, such a great question. So actually, I moved from Ohio to Maryland, and my parents were split up when I was growing up. So I was living in between Ohio and Southeast. Eventually, I moved to Maryland, PG County, Suitland, Kent Springs area, and my family got back together, and eventually they divorced. But growing up in the DMV, man, it was interesting, man, because you had, how can I explain it? It's like culture, man. Culture was very different. Very, very go-go oriented, DC had this issue with New Yorkers. I mean, I remember that very distinctly.
On these damn automobiles.
They couldn't call you Obama, you know what I mean? I know, man, like, why we isolate Baltimore so much? But yeah, man, so growing up in the DMV, you had a plethora of different people coming from different places, but most of the time when you met somebody from Maryland, they kind of were synonymous with DC to me, because a lot of DC Washingtonians moved to Maryland and vice versa. So we shared the same culture when it came to the go-go, to the crabs, to the football. So for me, like I said, growing up, man, I was never really into the streets on the side of like me trying to be a thug, but I had a lot of friends growing up who ended up turning into, going into the streets. I mean, we went from playing with yo-yos, the Pokemon, to like now they selling crack and this and this. So, guns. And so it was interesting. It was kind of crazy to see that transition from I was just playing football in the middle of the street, going to the ice cream truck, getting fruities, you know what I'm saying, and Big Burst and 3 wings of mumble sauce. And now they got guns and whatever. So there was a separation, I would say, for me from elementary, middle, and then going into high school, where I lost that set of friends. And it was all about, are you going to rep the hood, or are you going to stand by yourself? And if you're going to be by yourself, then we're not really going to protect you. But they still had a sense of love and respect for me because I chose to do my own thing. And I would say that just growing up in PG County, man, it's people always kind of like projected it was the suburbs. I don't know why. Like PG County was hooded and hood. I don't know where they got that from. Anybody that's from here know that. But like from the outside looking in, they all say, "Oh, y'all Maryland Bama's in." So but violence is violence, man. Growing up in the city is growing up in the city, and it was definitely a childhood that I would say I embraced and loved, but it was some downside to it. I was probably the only one in my neighborhood that had my father around. You know what I'm saying? And he was always at work. So it kind of felt like sometimes he wasn't there. And it was a whole lot of hood stuff going on. I don't want to get into it yet. I'll keep that in the music as far as my mom and her crazy ass, you know what I'm saying? And just, growing up with some friends who had single parents. And it always felt like sometimes they were doing better than me. Like I feel like I was really struggling with 2 parents. It's crazy. And a lot of them would admire the fact that I had my father around, but I would admire the fact that they got Jordans on their feet. Like, I mean, I don't think I got a pair of Jordans until I got my own job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, but I remember riding bikes, man, ice cream truck, going to the thrift stores, man, playing Freaky Friday. You know what I mean? Just different, man. Just being at the playground, man, playing basketball on the monkey bars. Like I feel like this generation, man, you'll probably never get to experience, what we experienced in the 90s. So it is what it is, but that's I would say how I sum up growing up in the DMV. And I also want to highlight when I really got into music. I would say I got into music around elementary. And then I had like a little rap group around the neighborhood. And that was kind of what saved me from dabbling into the street shit. If I can cuss on this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That kind of kept me from going left. And I did a few juvenile things, you know what I'm saying? But didn't find myself in jail or anything like that. But I did find myself in a holding cell doing certain knucklehead shit,
Yeah.
And but that was usually off the influence of whoever I was around. But for the most part, like I said, music is what saved me and kept me in alignment. And you know, everybody knew around the neighborhood I could rap. You know, I mean, it's one of those things they just knew I was gonna rap. And you know, from middle school, of course, freestyling then, and freestyling in the lunchrooms, battling people. You know what I mean? And transitioned into high school where I got really, really quiet. And I would say I think I got a little depressed in high school, to keep it real, because a lot of my friends, like I said, were dabbling into the streets. And rap was like my gateway. You know what I mean? Like I said, it kept me focused, my poetry. And yeah, like that's pretty much how I can sum up. And then of course, growing up, getting into like catapulting into like that era where I'm actually making noise, getting buzz. That crab in the barrel mentality that you all know that we have. I mean, of course, you know what it's about. It's still sort of an issue now with us not being able to band together. But I would say still some positives though. Growing up in the DMV, man, it's no place like it. You know, ever since they coined that phrase DMV, you know what I mean? It's like there's been no place like it. Like I said, I mean, the women here, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I think we have some of the most beautiful women, in my opinion. You know, of course, I got to do a little more moving around, but I got to give it up to the, you know, the brown skin honeys, light skin honeys. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's really how I see growing up in the DMV from my perspective.
Yep. I appreciate that. I appreciate you for sharing that. And you know, it resonates heavily with me because obviously, like I said, man, we met in the DMV a long time ago. I'm from the same blocks, man. I went to Fairmont. You know what I'm saying? Like my school ain't even there no more, bro. Like they changed, they moved it to another location, and then now it's Fairmont over there. I'm like, I don't even know that institution over there, bro. So you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And the thing about the DMV is it's just the I always liken to say, and I'm asking this kind of as somewhat as a question, because now you're seasoned, now you're doing your thing. But I feel in a lot of ways the DMV prepared me for like me being out here in LA. You know, I've been in every major city, and I was able to walk in everybody hood and everybody's city and be good. Like, you know what I mean? So have you experienced that? Do you get that same kind of resonance?
Actually, that's an interesting point that you make, because when I traveled, I've been to LA, Atlanta, North Carolina, different places. It's almost like the DMV is where people will kind of like pass through. Like I remember people from like South Carolina and how they dressed when I was in school. Be like, huh? Or just people from Kentucky. You'd be surprised even now the amount of people that migrate here for whether it be school, a job, abandonment. Maybe they run away from a situation, maybe they're on the run from a crime or whatever it may be. But when you touch base here, you get like that nucleus, because it's not quite fast paced, but it's not slow. It's slow compared to like a New York, but then you got that pretentious energy too. And I know in LA, you know, it's nothing but like bright lights and sunshine. Well, even with being out there, you saw some of that here. We weren't really big on gangs. I mean, they had their own gangs down here, of course, but I'm talking about like actual LA gang banging, color, all that. So it's like to see some of that growing up, like you just said, it almost prepares you for knowing how to kind of react in certain situations. I don't think there's no other area like that. It's like, because I think it's so many Atlanta people down here. It's like Southern, but it's East Coast.
Yeah.
And then with sprinkle like Midwest going on. So DC is very special when it comes. And then you have a lot of people from who weren't born here, who came here and made it home too, and brought their styles and their ideology. So, but I would have to agree with you and say that, yeah, I can go anywhere and just kind of blend. Yeah.
And the last thing I'm gonna say, because we definitely need to get back to on schedule so that people can understand you, because we're here to celebrate you, right? But I definitely I coined, well, I didn't coin it. That's bad. I mentioned a couple seasons back, and I just started calling DMV Wakanda, and I really truly, ever since the Black Panther movie,
wow,
it really, like, it's technologically advanced in most situations. You know, we could work our way around a computer, a laptop. You know, my nephew runs cell phones. Like he can install your cell phone, and he's what, 8? You know what I mean?
right.
we all have a high IQ when it comes to verbiage and how to use words. You know what I mean? Like it's just so advanced and like even like when I first came out here and work, walking red carpets and stuff, and at events out in Hollywood, and it's like, yo, I was doing that back with the DMV awards way back in the day. You know what I mean? Like we get funky, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things as to where it's like that, like you said, it prepares you because you're in the mix with so many different people from so many different places.
Right.
You get accustomed to their customs, and then you could take that on the fly if you're paying attention. You know what I mean?
Man, it's literally like we in like 4 different countries. And not to veer off topic though, but when you go to Georgetown, that looked like somewhere in like, I don't know, it could be Sicily or something. You know what I'm saying? And then you go on the Rock Creek Parkway, that looks totally different. You be like, am I in Colorado? Like, where am I? Then you hop on like Southeast, you know what I'm saying, go past the bridge. That looked like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it look kind of like World War III, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then you take it down to the Capitol. How's the Capitol up the street from the projects, man? Like, I'm trying to understand how that's up the street from Potomac Gardens. I mean, hope, and a lot of these hoods, their names are changing. Of course, they've been gentrified. But, and then of course, you go to like Virginia. Like, you go all the way to like toward like deep Alexandria. It looks almost like country bumpkin, like, I don't know, South Carolina somewhere. And then some parts look like Miami. You know what I'm saying? So the DMV got like a sprinkle of everything, in my opinion.
I agree.
I mean, so yeah.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And I always like that I tell people in that region you get extreme everything, whether or not it's snow, rain, wind gusts, humidity, dry heat, hot, wet heat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like style, fashion, jokes. Like some of the greatest comedians of all time came out of
That's
the
real.
DMV.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
like, you had to be molded.
That's real.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got, boy, you get on my face, boy. You know what I mean? Like,
we don't get our accolades enough, man. Like, and that's what I strive to do among everybody else who has the same ambitions, man. To like highlight how special this area is, and there needs to be like a documentary, man. Like, just highlighting the different people that came from the area, and like you say, so many actresses and actors and comedians that we don't even know about, even currently doing it right now. It's like, damn, they from DC. I didn't know that. I mean, so. And I also don't think that we advocated enough. Like, it kind of started happening a little bit. Like, I think when Wale kind of hit the scene, but then it's there's no real DMV pride that I hear. It's almost like, I'm in LA, I'm here. It's like too much trying to blend in. It's like, yo, there's nobody really advocating that. I think that we need to bring that back.
Well, you know what? Like I said, and I definitely want to take it, put a pin in this, and then we get back to it real quick. But I definitely want to say, I think it has something to do with a lot of people being jaded, because a lot of people, they bust their ass and try to put on for the city. They kind of get like a lukewarm reception, or not the reception that they want, and then they go off and then they start popping. And now it's like, well, I'm gonna go, well, I'm receive that. You know what I mean?
Yo, man, the DMV breeds some of the most sensitive fucking people. Part of my French, you know what I'm saying? Sensitive. And it takes some thick ass skin to be able to maneuver. Like you said, preparation should happen here. Like, this should be base number 1. If you can get through here, they talk about getting through New York or getting out. If you can get through here, you know what I'm saying, and you take your sensitive ass over there, and you have to have a strong mind and embody criticism and still keep moving and winning. Come on, man. Now we're talking.
That's a layup. That's a layup. Well, like I said, I definitely want to let's get back, because I love this conversation. I had this conversation the whole night. I don't care. But let's get back to you. I want to talk back, switching gears back to your music. You already touched on kind of your discovery for your talents in entertainment, where you were talking about, growing up and rapping and starting to put it together. But the question that I want to ask is, how did you get into the entertainment industry? When was that holy shit moment where you realized, you know what? I'm in the entertainment industry. Like, not like I'm trying to get into it, not like I'm trying to get signed, but when you actually, that light bulb turned on and you were in the entertainment industry. And what was that like for you?
It's funny you say that, because, when people ask you, how long you been doing it? I never really count my adolescent years. I always count the point, like you just mentioned, when I felt like I was in the industry, like I arrived. And also when I first started making money, because prior to that, it's almost a hobby up to that point.
Absolutely.
So I would say I feel like I arrived when Sway in the Morning, he played 2 of my joints on Getting the Game. It's like 2012. He played all that in Shadow. And I won anonymous. I won like 20 votes, hands down. And they kept it on air for like 2, 3, 4 months. They spelled my name wrong, but back in that time, I didn't have my stuff coded properly. So, you know, I didn't understand that. But when they played on the radio and I heard the reactions, I knew I arrived because I've been on the radio locally here before. I think DJ Rico played one of my joints in like 2008 or something like that. But to hear Sway do it and keep it on the air, and I was a fan, I'm still a fan of Sway in the Morning. So for him to do that, and then he followed me on Twitter too. And he still following me to this day, so shout out to him. But for him to play them 2 records, it felt different hearing it from the outside. It's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, using like imagination, trying to see how people go react, and everybody hands down was like, who is this dude? And it actually shot I think I gained about 1,000 followers on Twitter after that. Yeah, man. So that right there was like, I arrived. And I didn't understand the whole radio game. So I'm thinking I'm gonna stay on the radio for a whole year or something. Nah, they stopped playing it after like 2 months. But it was still cool to have people hit me in my DMs. I think Instagram was out around that time. Because people were contacting me saying that they heard the song Shadow. And I mean, again, like 2 months later, I'm like, are you still listening to it? Or maybe you just think you heard it again. Nah, man, I heard your song. I'm like, word. So that right there was a mind blow. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Sway in the Morning. Shade 45.
That's what's up. You know, it's funny because, you know, I when I first left DC, I was one of the sensitive ass motherfuckers because I was like, you know, people was talking lists, and I was like, dude, y'all don't understand how long and how hard I've been working. I never even really got anything on the radio. I was always cool with all of the radio people, but not on like, you know, PGC and not like that. And you know, it always would just rub my rhubarb the wrong way because it was like, yo, like I'm doing everything the right way, but I can't ever turn that corner. But you know that I had to understand things within myself to understand why. You know, it just never lined up. It just wasn't the time. Stuff wasn't right. Chemistry, all the whole 9. But kudos to you for landing that plane, bro. Because I mean, you know, it's a lot more difficult than people think or even realize. You know what I mean?
Man, it is. And I want to tell you a story about how that happened. Yo, so everybody listening right now, if you listen to man, you're a musician, entrepreneur, whatever it is you do, your follow-up game is so important. And for me, it wasn't the music that caused them to play it. It was my email. I listened to their show continuously, and people can call it what they want to call it, but I buttered up. I mean, I shouted them out. I went into the history of how Heather B got started. So I kind of started doing a little research and draft my email based on that. And I think they felt the appreciation. And they even told me on air, yo, we only played you, we played your record, man, because you was kissing up to Heather B or whatever. I think it was Heather B, Sway, and I said something to who's the DJ on that show? Whoever it was, I made sure my etiquette was good. And then I kept following up every week, listening to the show. And eventually, if you're consistent, and in my opinion, if you follow up, it's all about relationship building. I think we still lack in that area with they really think it's about talent, yo. It's no, man, that's like 1%, 0. In fact, it's like 0. They're like, we don't even care how good you are, man. You hear a lot of times now, even with people out now, you're like, how do you get this? How do you get that? It's like, man, relationships. Period.
1,000%. And being in the building, and I can honestly say on good authority, I've been in the building, and that's exactly how it works. It's like you said, it's just establishing relationships, rapport, and traversing energy, man. You know what I mean? The people rock with you, they're gonna rock with you, and that's just what it's gonna be. If they ain't rocking with you, they ain't gonna rock with you. Like it don't matter what you do. So good
and
call.
Doing the research. Because they appreciate if you even look out, I don't care if it's a business, you see how long they've been in business or product they're using. It's like, what's my value? Me coming to them, telling them I play my music. Because I used to hang out by PGC, KYS. Man, I used to stalk Jeannie. You know what I mean? I used to try to email her, like, yo, Jeannie's like, oh, so, and that led up to us having a great rapport now. But I'm just saying that I was like everybody else in people's faces, man. And that's not how you do it. So now you got the internet, whatever, you got social media, so many ways to kind of navigate, but still, You gotta have a follow up and good presentation and be able to build a rapport. Because if you got labels and managers doing it for you, when they disappear, you don't have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have the ability to build relationships and have proper etiquette. And I realize in this area and in general, people get upset and rush to the social media and start expressing themselves, calling out names. And this ain't even about being blackballed. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna make it about that, but people don't think about what they're saying when they say it, because it's almost like having a mic in your face. As soon as you got a mic in your face, you're speaking and saying stuff. I'm like, you don't know who you rubbing wrong. You put names together, you shouting. I mean, you just tagging. It's like, it's crazy as to how it's one thing to keep it real, keep it transparent, and to express yourself and have an opinion. It's another to almost let emotion take over. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I mean? Yep.
Very good points. Make sure you guys are writing this down. And in fact, make sure that you guys follow, subscribe to this brother Soncier on all social media, and Soncier the Hero on YouTube, man. Follow him, man. He's got some dope shit, man. Like, make sure you checking him out. Like, seriously.
Follow, sub. like, share, comment.
To put it lightly. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you do that. You feel free also to comment, man, if you out there right now, or comment at your leisure whenever you view this, man. Just keep this thing going. This brother needs that love, man. Real live. So you know what? I'm gonna get these questions out of the way, because I was just gonna shoot straight to the video, but you know what? Let's talk about it. BET's Wrap It Up Mixtape 3.
Hip Hop 50th anniversary. Be the part of the artists of widespread legacy.
Let's talk about it. How did that come to, like, what was that to you, and how did it come about?
So this right here is history, man. The Wrap It Up BET mixtape. Shout out to Jeannie Jones for holding me down on that. So my song got placed on that mixtape, man. And look at how the universe works full surface. And that had everything to do with, become a conscious artist. So it's a beautiful thing that I was aligned with that. And I'm going to fast forward to the BT thing, the whole Beats and Bars thing. But I believe this had everything to do with safe sex. And a couple of other campaigns were around that. But just to see how things, that's 10 years ago. And now we're in 2023. I ended up being the national winner of BT Beats and Bars next to a competition powered by Nissan. So how that's just like correlated, man. Shout out to the universe and pure destiny, man. Pure destiny, how that worked, man. So, and that actually wasn't, I think it's like my third time being on BT. The first time I want to say I was on, this is back when like 106 and Park was rocking. I want to say that was BT. Yeah. So, I was also on that too. Yep.
Brother been hitting it, man. I told y'all this brother been hitting it. He been hitting it for a while, man. So, but man,
I've been doing this since I was like a teenager, man. So it's kind of like that Chris Brown effect. It's like, I started out super, super young. You know what I'm saying? Still young, but started out super, super young. So,
Well, shout out to your perseverance, and shout out to the fact that you're just putting out good work, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
That's what the rubber meets the road, man. Let's talk about it. BT Hip Hop 50 commercial, man. Matter of fact, we got that commercial on deck here, right here, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on. You gotta see this. You gotta see this.
Do you want to play the commercial first, or?
Yeah. Here you go, the commercial, man. The Hip Hop 50 BT Awards commercial. Here we go.
Hip hop started from the heart to the boulevard. So much art started in the park. Look, it took us far. Hip hop started from the heart to the boulevard. So much art started in the park. Look, it took us far. I am beyond proud and part of a widespread sound that captivated and left so many people spellbound. It's more than lyrics and gimmicks and compound nouns. The feeling can never be mimicked and impact now. Motivated, generated, young generations penetrated through pop culture, black entertainment. Became a face of a nation. It's still not over. Pull up in the Nissan. Hip hop lives on. I'm thrilled. Hip hop 50th anniversary and be a part of the artists of widespread legacy. Turn me up in a new Nissan Aria EV. NBC. King Fresh, we in the building. You know.
Yes, sir. The check
Yeah.
is in the mail.
Let's get it.
That's what it
Sound
is. So let's talk about it, man. How did that come together, man? Like again, we talked.
Man. You know, so shout out to my team, Ready Set Impact. They brought the competition to my doorstep. Probably, I think I had about a couple of weeks before it was about to end. So it was almost like a fast-paced situation. And when I first was told about it, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Another competition. You know, I was like, okay. But I'm glad I put my lens on and I came with my A game. I'm like, I gotta win this, man. I'm like, I gotta win this because I don't plan to compete in anything if I'm not going to win. So went to the studio, recorded it, gave it my best 16 bars to talk about how hip hop thrilled me, submitted it, and it wasn't until BT responded with a very it wasn't a lengthy email, it was a very inspirational email because they were detailing how impressed they were with the wordplay and how I did the video. So I was like, okay. The personnel, she called me on the phone. I don't want to throw her name out there. I'm not sure how she feel about that. She called me, left a voicemail. I saw the email, called her back. We connected, and it's funny because before I hung up the phone, I was like, I already won. She was like, well, good luck. I was like, no, I already won. So I was kind of like trying not to rub her the wrong way, but I was like, hype. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. And I really didn't know who was calling me from New York. I'm like, who's the New York number calling me? I think it was New Jersey area code. But anyway, fast forward to that. Got the news. I was super excited. I was like, you know what? I got to hit the ground running. So as soon as she told me the votes were open, I contact my publicist, aka my manager, aka my everything. You know what I'm saying? Race and Impact was on deck. We had the whole LA voting. We had DC voting. We had Atlanta voting. We had everywhere voting. You know what I'm saying? I'm texting people, fingers all numb, and I'm like copying and pasting, but not really copying and pasting. I had to really like draft the message. So it's like, personal. And that was a lot. DMing everybody, Facebook, Twitter. Man, I hit everywhere I can hit to make sure that these votes got in. And it got to the point that my speculation is that we crashed the website. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 days before it's supposed to close down, you couldn't even vote no more. So I'm like, yo, we didn't, put that out there and sent that to the universe. And the universe answered it with the utmost love. And I want to shout out everybody that did vote and support. DC came in heavy with the support. Maryland, LA came in heavy with the support. We had a few disgruntled people who felt a certain way, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not people, they are, you know what I'm saying? They ain't want to participate, but hey, you know what I'm saying? What's 4 or 3 out of a million? You know what I mean? So I'm like, whatever. I mean, right. So the love was definitely there, man. And after that, I got the news. This is before they even told me I won to come down to New York. So I'm already feeling like, man, either I won this thing or I'm supposed to meet the other, artists that I'm allegedly competing with. And imagine you, I don't compete, I create. I'm not competing with nobody, man. Like I'm a co-creator. You know what I mean? So, I don't think in the competitive sense in that aspect. It's mine, and that's how I felt. And he should have felt the same way, of course. But when I went to New York, man, red carpet treatment, man, door-to-door service, pay for my food. And I'm sure my food was definitely specific in its own taste because I'm health conscious. They had no problem with that. What else, man? Went to the studio, brewery. I think it's called Brewery Studios. That's where Kid Cudi recorded Day and Night. Chris Brown, Janae Aiko, and Omarion did the joint. What's the name of that song, man? Because when you go in there, they got the plaques on the wall, platinum plaques. Then I think MGK recorded there. So this studio is pretty known in Brooklyn, from what I know. I think my sister did some engineering there too. So she's in the music game too. But we talk about that another time. Shout out to my sis. You know what I'm saying? But so recorded it, had everybody in the room, beautiful experience, knocked that out. Then we shot part of the commercial in the studio. That was fun. You know what I'm saying? And but let me back it on up. No, I'm good. Yeah, because I want to talk about a little bit of how I felt leaving from Union Station to get to New York.
Okay.
So when I was doing that, and I'll go back into the studio scene, I was focused strictly on practicing how to answer these questions. You know what I mean? Because these questions, they kind of prep me a little bit of what they would say, but I was actually taking notes from my publicist and how to gauge and what to kind of present to make sure I don't talk too much. You know what I mean? And veer off topic. You know what I mean? So practice that. And I was coming up with a freestyle in my head because they wanted me to freestyle. So I actually thought I wasn't going to freestyle, but I'll talk about that another time. I mean, later on in the conversation. But the freestyle was supposed to be about the Nissan Ariya 2023. So shout out to Nissan. I love the car. It's a good fit. And I'm pulling up on one real soon. So let's get it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so did that. Got to the hotel, beautiful hotel room, like a little boutique room. And then, of course, woke up early in the rising, got straight to it. Like I said, went to the studio, did part of the commercial in the studio. Then we went to the main studio. And that's where the meat and potatoes and the real excitement happened because this is like my first commercial, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never shot no commercial. You know what I'm saying? So I shot a music video, but this is a commercial. So, man, just see how professional, how they were moving, the drones, the certain mechanisms. I was there for like a good 4 or 5 hours, somewhere around that time, but it was pure bliss. It didn't feel like it was that long. Not at all. And of course, they got the makeup on me. I don't like the makeup, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I mean, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. Who am I to argue? You know what I'm saying? But
it's the business.
It's the business, man. But I'm like, y'all gotta take some of this makeup off my face, man. I'm looking real funny style and real light right now. I need my melanin, man. They laughing at me. So we just had a good time, man. I think I would say I recorded. I did like a good 10 takes in the car. And like I said, that was dope. And then also the interview piece. So the interview caught me off guard because they didn't really ask them in the same order from what I got gathered in the email. You know what I mean? So I was knocking the questions out, boom, boom, boom. And then they announced that I was the winner during the interview. And she's like, how's it feel to be the winner? I'm like, how I feel to be the winner? I'm like, I'm the winner? She's like, yeah. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like trying to stay on point and not be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, word, that's what's up. I'm trying to like not downplay it, but I ain't want to be like overly excited and lose track of what I'm doing. I'm like, how y'all gonna announce it in the middle of me talking? So I'm like, shit. So, but no, man, I was very thankful, very appreciative. In my heart, I knew I'm gonna say that. Let's just say, I was destined to be where I was at that time based on the hard work, perseverance, the confidence, and doing the due diligence and actually, taking proper notes. Because I feel like if my verse wasn't where it needed to be, I probably wouldn't have got my foot in that door. And that goes back to relationships and them getting the feeling that I am a student of the game and that I was able to craft that 16 bars to talk about the evolution of hip hop, which is super important. Especially with the 50th, I think they had an anniversary on CBS at the Grammys, if I'm not mistaken. And that had a whole bunch of pioneers that gave reverence and got their just due. Now, I know we hear a lot about certain people from the outside feeling a certain way about hip hop. Some people have a negative feeling about what are we celebrating. But then I want to lean toward like, we need to be enjoying the flowers while we're getting them. We can have the conversation and bicker later. It's almost like being at the table with your family. We can discuss our issues another time. Let's enjoy the food and the love that we got right here. Because, it don't come around again. And I know how some people feel like, oh, man, the industry been doing them this. But I'm like, once again, keep your opinions to a minimum and enjoy the present while it's present. Because we all know from afar, what's going on systematically. Racism, certain levels of discrimination, negativity in the music. We can talk all about the problem, but how about focusing on the solution? And at that particular moment, they were offering a solution. So much beauty that came from the 50th hip hop anniversary. So much millionaires. I mean, so many millionaires were bred from hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop helped me grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it gave me an outlet something to believe in, a way to express myself and what was going on in my environment.
Yeah.
And I think that we should never, take that for granted. So.
Well, I'm glad you're sharing that. And we definitely gonna get to that in a little bit, because again, I want to keep this thing moving, because we got a lot more real estate to cover with you, man, because you've done a lot in your career. But I definitely understand, and I know exactly who, well, not say who, but some of the personalities that had an axe to grind against it, and I understand it, and to an extent, you almost kind of do feel complicit if you go along with what the scraps that they toss in. I get it, but like you said, that's a glass is half empty approach. If you look at it from a glass is half full approach and say, look, you don't have to get anything at all, you know what I mean? Then why not celebrate and be jubilant that you actually getting somebody to look at you? You like, don't wave your hand and be like, people need to look in our direction, and then when they actually do, you're like, piss on that, I don't want your attention, So
yeah,
makes sense. Makes a ton of sense.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Also want to highlight that I'm currently working on so my current project, The Hero Chronicles, is out right now. You guys can get that on www.messageinthemusic.net/Soncier. For you can offer what, as far as donating, you can donate what you like, name your own price, but also just know that every donation is going back into the nonprofit, so we can continue to do more work in the community right now. And so I want to talk about the new single. Well, I'm working on a plethora of things as far as music, but we are working on a new single in 2024, currently in the studio, that will be the soundtrack for the upcoming series, The Silent Shore. So be on the lookout for that. And but currently right now, if you're looking for some new music, you definitely want to hop on messageinthemusic.net and grab that Hero Chronicles and support those who support you and your community. You know what I mean? You already know what it is. So
well, first of all, like I said, congratulations on that. That's an accolade. Again, yet another one. Another one.
Another one.
And another one.
Shout out to DJ Khaled.
So kudos for that. I definitely want to take the opportunity to get this song in real quick, though, at least the song that we do have for you, which is Focus. And then I want to come back and go on something that I was told was called Plants and Vibes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So let's hop straight to the music video, and then we're going to talk about that real quick, and then we're going to get back to it, ladies and gentlemen. So it's time for that exclusive feature. Stay tuned.
We in here, man. Focus.
Notice, I put all you niggas on. Notice, I'm coming for everything. I hope you notice. Payment on the grind, running out of time. Money on my mind. Focus. I put all you niggas up on. Notice, so here's a fair one. Don't you blow it. Blame it on the grind. Running out of time. Money on my mind.
Never come easy, oh no. Never believe me, oh no. They didn't wanna see me go mo. Back in the empty, I roll. Still on empty, I know. I'ma make history, I glow. With or without you, oh yeah. Niggas without you, oh yeah. Started from the ground up, I'm on my way up. I done made my mind up, I'm on my grind, bruh. You ain't gotta like us, let me remind ya. Don't rely on blind luck, let's get behind us. Oh no, it's all divine timing, oh no. I'm shining like a diamond, oh no. Play it back, rewind it, oh no. Got a million on my mind.
Notice, I put all you niggas on. Notice, I'm coming for everything. I hope you notice. Payment on the grind, running out of time. Money on my mind. Focus. I put all you niggas up on. Notice, so here's a fair one. Don't you blow it. Blame it on the grind,
Shit is not peachy, the Wizard of Oz. Feel like I'm dreaming, I know that they scheming. I listen to God, I'm feeling facade. Reach for the stars, what is your job? Chasing my destiny, bullets be busting, they busting the charm. Since I was young, had to respect it, but had to go get it. Parents don't give me no riches, I'm feeling. Making decisions, I gotta see millions. Making a difference, I gotta reach millions. What about the homies, all of the children? Killing all the homies, what is the feeling? Shit's crazy, niggas kill you to make it. Never lazy, gotta get it, so pay me. I don't know what's going on, so lately I've been to myself, playing and baby, making moves, gotta find a new route. Gotta do it now, figure it out. Can't answer calls, grinding, baby. Keep it moving, man, time is racing. Losing friends while I'm paper chasing. Do it on my own time, no waiting for no man, gotta make a plan.
Notice. I put all your niggas up on notice. Here's a fair one. Don't you blow it.
Fuck negative shit.
Blame it on the grind. Running out of time. Money on my money. Focus.
On some real shit, I just find it hard to stay focused at times because, you know, there's so many fucking distractions, man. But I told myself it's either now or never.
Man, on God, I'm gonna tell you right now. It's so many. Like, man, you should just, man, look, just put that on a t-shirt. That end that you just put all that on the t-shirt, man. I'm trying to tell you.
So that's right there is actually the saying on the shirt. Fuck negative shit. That's gonna be a clothing apparel that's coming out real soon. And we also got a PG-13 way to say it too. You know, for all those who don't want to see, you know, profanity on your shirt. But a lot of people walk up to me in the stores and be like, yo, you like that? We like that. So yeah, look out for fuck negative shit apparel. You're like, whoa.
Let me know. Make sure you shoot that post to me, man. I need to copy something so I can rock it out here in LA, man. So they know what time.
Middle finger to all negativity. I would say it clean because I don't want to be open this drink cussing all, you know, running around with profanity. So my
Understood. All right. So how did this song come together? And you know, name drop the, you know, the producer, the director, the whole nine.
So this song came about. Shout out to Dream Life. He co-wrote the hook and actually said the hook. And it came about just me shopping for beats on BeatStars. You know what I'm saying? I found some tracks, hit them up. We did a collab, and that was that. And then of course, when I was writing it, it's funny because that song right there, I think was a perfect combination of me being conscious and mainstream. So when I was doing that project, Now or Never, you guys can get that on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, everywhere. When I was coming up with that project, I was like, yo, I gotta make diverse music that sounds modern, but still keep my consciousness. So that kind of was a great blend. And it's doing incredibly well on streaming platforms. So we at 1 million right now, organically. And now I think we landed on a profile playlist too. I gotta check and see what name in the playlist it is. But you know, that whole monthly listener thing is a whole another thing. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody that's been streaming it, supporting it. Just know that, you know, your streams are like your stock market. It's like you know, this is what your stock is worth. It ain't necessarily what I'm looking to, like, you know what I mean, make a big deal about, because we all know we getting like 0.5 cent, you know what I'm saying, on the stream. But it's still a positive thing because I want to be any and everywhere. So I'm not about to disrespect or talk crazy about Spotify. Not right now, you know what I mean? Definitely support.
Understandable, man. And you know,
Stay
focus. FOKIS, do that. Like I said, bro, make sure you guys like and follow and subscribe. Soncier, he's on all social media. You can find him, and even on YouTube at Soncier the Hero TV. Make sure, like, follow, subscribe, reach out to this brother, man. Just engage with, like you said,
chop it up with me, man. Chop it up with me. I'm approachable. You know, I'm very approachable. Well, sometimes I'll say, but no, most of the time I'm very approachable. Yeah, as long as your energy good, we good. You know what I mean?
I'm the same way. I ain't trying to hold you. I want to switch gears. Thank you for sharing. Dope video, dope song. Definitely love it. I'm a fan. I'm in my fandom now, so I'm gonna go ahead and cop that myself. I want to switch gears though. I got a question. Well, kind of a poser, as it were. Pop life. What are your thoughts on the evolution of hip hop, since we're in its 50th anniversary year?
Well, you know, my thoughts on the evolution of hip hop, I feel like we came a long way as a whole. There's been certain distractions that have been rendered to try to water down what we've accomplished. But as a whole, you know, it's an art form that was originated by melanin people. You know, I'm proud to be melanated, and I'm proud to be a part of the culture. I don't necessarily subscribe or highlight too much of the negative. There's too much positivity that came from it. Even when you talk about just being able to share your story and then listen to artists evolve, like you really get to see the testament of people's lives and how they started to where they are now. And most music artists are evolving with their content. Some are not, but at the end of the day, man, to be able to like still see some of the pioneers still alive, like with anything else, you can still be able to resonate and look at the history where it started to where it is now. And I think see that it's evolved in a positive way. Some would disagree, but I think there's different styles. I feel like we're at a point where if you highlight just what you don't like, then that's what you're attracting. Because at the end of the day, it's so many artists out there. It's a whole art. Like, I mean, don't get me started on Christian hip hop either. It's like it's just so much. Are you doing the research? Are you seeking these artists? Like so many artists now. So it's no excuse to say that hip hop is one way. If you let media paint that portrait, like the news paint the portrait of our community, and you resonate with that, and you absorb that, that's your reality. My reality is that's a plethora of music out there I'm enjoying, different artists. So, and then also to be a part of the evolution. I mean, I'm still kind of geeked out about it. Like, yo, like my commercial, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nissan and BT again. I can never forget, you know, them giving me that platform to be seen in front of millions. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no level of money that can give me that type of advertisement, man. Like, even when I saw the clip that was sent to me from an internal contact who was at the award show to actually send that to me, was seeing people in the crowd looking at me. I'm like, yo, that's not the first time y'all ever gonna see me. I mean, I'm sorry, the last time y'all ever gonna see me. You know, it's like that's just the beginning. And it's just interesting, man, to have Fat Joe host it. And then I open up with Kid Capri and D Nice. Like, it's just being in alignment. I'm in alignment with history, man. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, so grateful. Right on the 50th, man. Like, I mean, what more can I ask for to close out the fourth quarter? I mean, like, come on, man. So, you know, shout out to God, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to God. For real.
You know, funny,
shout out to God. And shout out to Fat Joe, man. I'm gonna be speaking to you real soon, man. Yep.
You know, I love the fact that you look at it from that perspective, because I look at it the same way. Like you said, and we prefaced this previously. It's hip hop's 50th anniversary. It will never be 50 again. You know what I mean? It's so many eyes and different. There's a whole new generations, not one generation, multiple generations that are exposed to what hip hop was and is and how it started. You know what I mean?
The highlight of the 50th, you know, in my opinion, it influenced the Gen Z, you know what I'm saying, to kind of go do their homework. Not only are they sampling more, and they were sampling before the 50th, but now it's almost like, come on, man, you got Busta on records with certain artists now. It's almost like it rejuvenated certain careers. And this is not to say any career was dead at all.
Yeah.
It just rejuvenated, and it actually allowed the younger generation to respect whether they felt they didn't. Because prior to that, a lot of artists weren't doing any research, man. I mean, you put a mic in their face and ask them questions, they're like, Rakim, who? You know what I'm saying? Like, who? You know what I'm saying? They know who 50 is. They know currently who certain people are who are staying relevant. But to go back into the root of it in the beginning, this was an opportunity, man, for a lot of artists who felt a certain way to put their differences to the side.
Yeah.
Because you want that younger generation to know who you are. That's kind of like, I think recently, I won't go too deep into it, but Nicki Minaj was recently on the brother K Kantat. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, he's real big on Twitch. I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong. Shout out to you, man. My bad, homie. But people, I mean, I think it was a hip hop interviewer. I can't recall his name too, but he had said something about her being on the show. And it's almost like, do you not go on his show because of the generational gap? Or it's just like, or it kind of get dicey when you start having your, you know, your particular engrams, because engrams are blockages or whatever you experience, blocking you from being seen by the whole world or by a bigger audience. Now, I'm not saying don't lose your morale, have your morale and your integrity. But in this aspect, when we talk about the hip hop 50th, there will never be a 50th. It'll be a 51st, a 52nd, 53rd. And those who are a part of history, such as myself, shout out to Impact, Ready, Set, Impact, man. Messaging and music, we were a part of that history because I was involved. And then, of course, my team was involved. Come on, man. Like, that's historical.
Yeah.
It is. And it's forever going to be documented. So to miss out on certain things because of your particular issues with, it's like you never get that again, man. And some people are like standing in their own way, unfortunately. And that's when anything you see going on, not just hip hop, but people, man, like them ingress can stop you. You'd be like, man, I want my respect this way. And it's like, yo, we giving you your respect now. Are you going to take it? And then, you know, so, yeah, man, evolution of hip hop, man. Yep. Yeah. Like, to be a part of it, man, was just, yeah, man. Like, I'm forever endowed, you know, with its bestowment and just being, you know, empowered by the culture itself and what it's doing, man. I mean, it changed the world, man. You got people speaking like us, dressing like us. I mean, it just goes to show, you know, how important the melanin community is and how powerful we are. So we take that same energy that we, you know, employed in hip hop with economical support for one another, you know, and endearment for one another, which I know we're leaning toward doing that, in my opinion. Like, we're like, the frequency is high now. So I choose to resonate with that than to resonate with the problem. That's just me.
Well, that's what's great about it, because you choose to be a part of the solution and not the problem. You know,
yep. I mean, I could talk about the problem all day. I mean, that's what my music's talking about, the issue. But then I'm offering a solution, and you know, we have to offer solutions.
And I think with that being said, I might have to invite you back. We're going to talk about that problem on a dais, because that's something that it definitely needs to be spoken to, especially with regard to, and it's just my opinion, having watched this whole year and all of the performances of Hip Hop 50, all of the old heads, as it were, outperforming seemingly, in my opinion, a lot of the new generation. Just literally, like, just off of, like, you could tell Keith Murray, they flew Keith Murray in from Nova Scotia. You know what I mean? And he just did his thing. And
Shout
it was
out to
like,
Keith Murray, man.
like, you know what I mean? Like,
yo, you think somebody like Keith Murray would have turned that down? And that's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, if you haven't been getting your accolades or getting your shine or getting your just due, man, you gotta take it now and run through that portal, man. Because that portal, man, come on, man, jump through that portal. I'm jumping through the portal.
Well, see, what's crazy about it is, to me, it speaks to what I always like, and then I tell people out here about the Northeast. It's like, yo, it's a thing called eat. You throw it at us, we gonna eat, bro. Like, it's nothing. Don't give me that opportunity if you don't want me to be all up over top of it, bro. You know what I mean? And that's either here or there kind of personality. There is no in between. You either eat or you get ate. Or you get ate. I mean, you know what I mean? Starving is starving. Like, okay, that's starving. But you know what I'm saying? Either you eat or you get ate. And at the end of the day,
period.
You know what I mean? So, like you said, to watch and I mentioned too, you know, just watching the performances, just like, you know, like they're putting the old heads on stage with some of these new generation kids, and it's like, you know, and again, it's no shade. I mean, we are what we are, and we present how we present, but it's just like, you know, people like for Buster to get up and get his accolades and be like, yo, I bust ass and mean it, and you knew exactly what time it was because you didn't seen it. I'm gonna eat.
Man, and a whole new generation of people that didn't even know who Buster was. They heard the songs, and now it's like, oh, that's Buster. Oh, that's even the Wu-Tang series. That's what I'm saying, man. It was almost divine even before announcing the Hip Hop 50th, man. I mean, come on, man. Like, I'm still kind of like, because when I was growing up, I didn't really appreciate a lot of the music, because I really didn't know about Pac and all of that. It's like I was coming on the cusp, so I didn't get acclimated to those artists until the 2000s, really.
Yeah,
Mind you, I'm still growing up with the Nas's and all that, but that's kind of not my like the Coles and the Kendricks. They grew up in the same people I grew up on, so that's my generation. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, yo, to see how much of an impact Wu-Tang had. I remember my brother was putting me on the Wu-Tang. I'm like, who are these people? Pharoah Monch. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying like he was really heavy into New York. You know what I'm saying? So he the one that kind of introduced me to rap. You know what I mean? So I'm like, these people popping? You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's like to see it now is like, man, for somebody to want to buy a catalog, I mean, you got Nas putting out some of the best music, man. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with so many artists that's almost, even AZ, I think, him and AZ got a joint. And people are like, how you know AZ? That's another thing about being introduced to East Coast hip hop. Now, it almost opened me up to like Devin. I mean, it's like, yo, like my range of like knowing musicians is like John Mayer, Jason Mraz, and just different people. It's not just rap. It's like, I grew an appreciation for music through rap.
absolutely.
And then had to go back and appreciate jazz to appreciate R&B. Because I was all about hardcore rap. Growing up in a neighborhood, it's all about me having a weapon on me, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Somebody trying to rob, what's up? So that whole chip on my shoulder, I'm black situation, which I don't even use that term no more. I'd rather say melanated. Because black is not a nationality, but it's another conversation. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's just like having that chip on my shoulder and starting to realize that I can have love for my brother and my sister and feel a certain way, and then still use niggas sometimes, but mainly address you as king. You know what I'm saying? Or God, peace, God. You know what I'm saying? This is what they were saying. Even Wu-Tang, it's like, yo, like I was, you know what I mean? It's like interesting. Wu-Tang is probably the biggest example of like staying true to your roots, and actually, it's almost like you just said. A lot of times we were ahead of our time. Like I feel like my style is like that. If you hear some of my stuff, I was doing that way before I heard Lupe, or even some of my stuff now, like Cole, like the way he doing his thing, like doing that in 2012. You know what I'm saying? Way before I knew these people. So it's like, I think my style was ahead of even my F negative stuff. That's kind of ahead of its time. So when I have to, people may feel a certain way when they hear it, so they try to explain what it is, and then they get to know me. Otherwise, you hear that and you see that middle finger, you'd be like, oh, he on some negative shit. I'm like, no, I'm saying F negative stuff. So I'm gonna have to explain myself in interviews, I'm sure. But I want to segue, you know, from talking about the evolution of hip hop to also talking about Plants and Vibes, you know, and highlighting Fat Joe, for example, who's been working on his diet. You know, certain artists like Rick Ross, like certain artists who were kind of heavy. Even when you look at Scarface, a lot of them going through the weight loss changes and transitioning to being more healthier. That's what this show is about. And it's like CNN meets MTV.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have different people in different countries hosting it. Major markets like New York, LA, the UK, Miami, and especially here. So I'm the host on that show, the main host. But it's a beautiful thing because it's an inclusive brand. So it doesn't just start and stop with me. I mean, we're going to have the whole world saying Plants and Vibes. And wait till this journey drop, man. It's a different type of show, a different type of thing. I don't think nobody's ever seen nothing like it. And I'm proud to be able to say that I was a part of the creation of it, co-creator. And shout out to Ready Set Impact. And we holding it, just like I said, we looking to change lives. And, you know, let's do better together on Plants and Vibes. So also follow our profile, Plants and Vibes. That's PLANTZ, capital N, big N, PLANTZ. Plants and Vibes right there. Yeah. So look for season 1 to drop real soon. Also, some of the highlights on that show, pardon me, are going to be segueing and talking about Kevin Hart's vegan fast food chain called Hart House, doing tremendously well in LA and everywhere else. Shout out to him. He's like a tycoon. Somebody to, pardon me, I'm like slurring. Somebody to, you know, mirror yourself around and study his movements. A tycoon, man. And then, of course, we'll be having national and indie artists who are transitioning to a healthier lifestyle on the show. along with celebrity guests and celebrity chefs, highlighting mental and physical health in New York / Afrobeats for the fellas. And then also how HBCU grads went from their kitchen to winning Shark Tank to $1 million vegan brands and much more. And much more. And also want to talk about messaging and music. I'm a program director for a nonprofit called Messaging and Music, and we're working on some programs and workshops in the schools right now to help these youth write positive content and create positive content and gain more of a confidence on self-awareness, on their image and their self-esteem. Because your self-image and your self-esteem is the root of what you manifest and the things that's happening in your life right now based on how you feel about yourself. So we were looking to tap into the minds of the youth, and shout out to everybody who's making a difference in the community and around the world who put the youth first. It's all about the youth. And shout out to the babies, man, because we're losing a lot of youth on the streets, man. So gun violence, anxiety, opioids, fentanyl, you know what I'm saying? Like they putting shit in our weed. You can't even enjoy the weed unless you're growing it. Chemtrails in the sky, you know what I'm saying? All kind of pandemics everywhere. Propedemics,
I missed this conversation.
Anyway, we ain't about to go too much to that. But yeah, plant some vibes. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Plant some vibes, y'all.
I got to talk to you, Eugenie. I got to talk to you, Eugenie. I got to get you back. We got to talk about this. We got to go into depth about a lot of the philosophy behind Plants and Vibes, all of the tones and everything. Because I'm listen, y'all just got the music aspect of this man. You ain't got the forward thinker. You ain't got the you know what I mean, like the tycoon, as you say. You know what I mean? Like you gotta. There's a lot of complexity to this. We got to work that out. 2024, we got to work that out.
2024 is gonna be monumental, man. And I'm doing no talking, straight action, and I'm planting different seeds, man, like an octopus. I got my tentacles just spread it out, and it's all gonna come together full surface. So yeah, we hitting the ground running, man. Yeah,
I love it. You mentioned as far as about the kids and so forth and so on. Hell, my kids are still back in the DMV. You know what I mean? And they are trying to expand their roots until they graduate high school, and then I'm gonna try. Hopefully they come to the West Side. Hopefully. Anyway,
family's everything.
With that being said, with the youth in mind, I want to ask you: how do you feel that you have paved the way for young talent?
I feel like I'm still paving the way for young talent, and this is why I got to get in front of these schools and speak and enlighten them on the nuances and the things that aren't really being talked about. Because I feel like a lot of times in this area, like you said, we make it, and that's still that mentality where we don't really come back and break it down. We have a lot of different industry professionals that's not from here teaching our people here, but we got to start doing that, like homegrown, coming back, building studios, you know what I'm saying, bringing the business here. So I'm paving the way from a business standpoint, and then me being still youthful enough for them to resonate with me. And I think that I have a way with words. Actually, I don't think, I know I do. So once I get in front of these students, I feel like I can break it down to help them understand the root cause and the protocol that needs to be followed. It has nothing to do with music, more about your personality, character building, self-development, you know what I mean, and being community oriented. I don't think that we're teaching them, and I don't hear a lot of artists talk like that. And saying about being an artist, because I'm more of an artist. I'm an advocate, I would say. But yeah, I don't want to take up too much time because we about an hour in. So
yeah. Nah, and listen, I mean, I think you touched on a lot of bases in this entire interview, but it's none more prevalent than that part right there. I mean, the word that when we talk about outreach and reaching out to people and influence and so forth and so on, it's philanthropy. And we as Black people, I feel, in my opinion, I could be loud and wrong. That's fine. Blow up my Twitter. The understanding of philanthropy and understanding how you engage in it and how if philanthropists, that's not a word, but I just made it up, philanthropists that we are, And you know what I mean? Like it's so much like, you know, philanthropy dabbles in philosophy. It does a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, it's reaching out to connect with other people to bring them up. We have to learn to connect. And unfortunately, it's been my experience that we as a people, melaninated people, as you said, it has been Jim Crowed into us that we got to be the first and the only.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. And I think that we can be proud to say that integrity is becoming long lasting, in my opinion, even though they say it's not. Like I said, I don't lean toward a problem. I think in current moments today with artificial intelligence and technology, I feel like we're getting back to the 60s, but except there's more technology. You know what I'm saying? So prior to the 60s, there was no social media, or in the 60s, and this is before the crack era. I think that we're really getting back to that as far as the heightened level of consciousness. They can't stop us from completing our mission, but they can slow us down, and that's what they're doing. So, but anyway, it's been a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? I gotta cook some dinner. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
I ain't eat all day. So say about to chef it up, playing some bass style.
Hey, the brother, he ain't lying because he got the walk in the back and everything. Hey, listen, that is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't playing.
Look,
I got more of it. I ain't playing. Actually, I'm gonna add some seaweed to it. I'm gonna add some nori to it.
Yeah, seaweed, bruh.
Yeah, I'm about to throw down.
All right, so like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta hurry up and get this brother out here so he can feel his tummy out here. The last question I got to say is, how can people learn more about you, man? That's the most important question of them all for a lot of different reasons. Feel free to let them know.
You guys can learn more about me by going to my social media pages. I will be doing more live videos. I'm going to be doing freestyles every week coming into 2024. Be open and sure to shoot me a DM. You can find me on not only Instagram, but Twitch. I'm going to start getting on Twitch more. You can find me on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Also, TikTok. It's Soncier here on everything. Facebook. So I make it real easy to find me. Do not hesitate to reach out and ask me a question, whether it's an industry question or a question about diet and transitioning on the food side, or you just want to have a conversation in general about me giving you some advice on something, because I'm a good listener. Reach out to me. I'm open to it. Know what it is. Yeah. Soncier the Hero. Race and Impact. My boy, we got them beats. You know how we do.
I love this guy, man. I love this guy. Like, you hear it on God, man. I love this guy. Make sure you like and follow, subscribe Soncier on all social media, as he said. Listen, Soncier, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I'm gonna definitely try to work it out, try to see if I can get you back in 2024, man, because I love your trajectory. I think it's amazing, and I love what you're putting out into the universe. The world, quite simply put, needs more people like you in it. And that's me being a buck 1,000% 100, man. Like, so it's nothing but love and respect coming from you. As far as I'm concerned, you on every DMV list. As far as I'm concerned, high up there.
Let's get it.
You know that. But like I said, make sure you like and follow, subscribe to this brother. And without further ado, bro, you got any last words that you want part of everybody with?
Positive thinking, we aiming for infinite, ain't no limit, affirmation delivery, confirmation illuminating my penmanship, came a long way from neighborhood tenements. What? Do it your way. They tell me, realize I am the one, ain't no nemesis. If it is, guaranteed that I'm killing it. Anytime I feel I'm out of my mind. Yeah. I got that was good.
And there we go.
Yeah, but you know what it is.
And there we got it, ladies and gentlemen. Soncier the Hero. Make sure you like and follow, subscribe on all social media. I'm Donnie B, GotDaBeats. Make sure you like and follow, subscribe. You can find me damn near everywhere. Probably not as many places you can see Soncier, but I'm around. Google me too. You'll find me. And make sure you like and follow, subscribe. The Beat TV LA on all social media, ladies and gentlemen. If you got talent and so forth and so on, feel free to slide the DM and hit us up. See if you got what it takes to be on this platform. Without further ado, I'm Donnie B, GotDaBeats. We live on the beat. Ladies and gentlemen, we out. Peace.
Peace.
Donnie B, GotDaBeats.